Welcome to Real Talk with Heather and Andres, the podcast where we say the quiet part out loud about real estate, business, and situations nobody warns you about. All while we're live streaming, so there are no edits.
And this isn't coaching from a stage or highlight reels from social media. This is real stories, real mistakes, real money, and real consequences from agents, buyers, sellers, and business owners living it in real time. So if you're tired of the sugar coated advice, fake gurus, and playing small because nobody told you how this really works, you're in the right place. I'm Andres, and this is Heather. Let's get into some real talk.
All right, and today we have a pop up guest with us today to weigh in on our segment.
All right, Daniel. Daniel, thank you for joining us here today.
Hi guys, so this is definitely for real. There's no scripts. Here I am, just happened to be out on a walk with my dog, and I get a little text message, join us, and here I am. So it is for real, that's for sure.
Well, we're happy to have you here with us, and you can weigh in, give your opinion if you think they're being the asshole or if you think they're not being the asshole. But before we do that, you want to introduce the puppy dogs to everybody?
Yeah, let me figure this out real quick. Back camera. Jack, come. So his name is Jack. He's 5 years old. Jack, come. Uh, right now, he's on the hunt for the squirrels. I taught him how to go after them, so he's been running nonstop for about 15 minutes now, and that's what he does. I hate squirrels; they destroy my house.
Tony has a squirrel that he hates as well that lives in our front yard. It ate our garage. We had to replace the garage door. He ate our garage door, like ate it. I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
Yeah, they got in my attic on more than one occasion. They ate through the soffit, and here we are in bed with my wife, and we hear it sounds like things are running around upstairs over there, over the ceiling. And sure enough, there was a family living in our attic, and we had the roof replaced and everything, and it's been a nightmare ever since.
Oh man. So they're
Yep,
not as cute as they look, huh?
they are very vicious. They're smart. If they find an opening, they literally through the metal to get inside. And yeah, it's been a nightmare. I cut down the trees. I trimmed everything to keep them from getting up there, and I thought I was safe. They can jump quite a bit.
Yeah, and they throw things at you. They throw the little acorn things in the trees. My dad didn't believe me when I told him that the squirrels were throwing things at me until they threw them at him, and then he believed me.
And there's also the matter of trapping them, and you can't shoot them. You live in the city. You can, yeah, getting rid of them. It's not easy.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
So we all agree that the squirrels are the asshole, and there's no debate on that one.
I agree.
They won this one.
Well, speaking of that, it's time for our favorite part of the show, the Am I the Asshole Real Estate Edition.
All right, and just a quick note: this is a dramatized story, not a real client situation, but every single scenario is based on situations agents and clients deal with all the time.
And so, everybody listening, it's not just your job to listen, it's your job to decide who's right, who's wrong, and who probably needs therapy.
All right, so I just want to say, Heather, you picked the scenarios for today, so Daniel, you and I are hearing this for the first time. She hasn't
Okay.
even introduced it to me, and I do the same with her on What Would You Do Tuesdays. So let's get into it, Heather.
All right, let's get into it. Okay, so this one is titled Am I the Asshole? Another agent wants a referral fee for life. So let's get into this. Here we go. Okay, I need to know if I'm crazy here. 3 years ago, another agent sent me a buyer client. We had a standard referral agreement, totally normal. I closed the deal, paid the referral fee at closing. Everyone was happy. Fast forward 3 years. The same client reaches out to me because they're ready to sell the home that they bought with me. I list it. Now, the original agent sees online that I'm helping this client sell and reaches out asking for another referral fee. I'm thinking maybe she's joking. Nope. She says because she originally introduced the client to me, She expects a referral fee for life on that client. For life. And this was emphasized with for period life period. There was no written agreement stating that. The original referral was the one transaction only. I paid it and we were done. Now she's implying that ethically I should continue paying her anytime this client does business with me because she brought them into my world. I feel like once I serviced the client, I then built the relationship. I did the work for 3 years. That client became mine because I stayed in touch, I nurtured it, and I earned the repeat business. Am I wrong? Is there some unspoken rule in real estate that I missed? Or is this simply unreasonable on her part? So, am I the asshole for refusing to pay her again? What do you guys think?
Must be nice. Must be nice to pass on of a referral and think that you are getting a lifetime referral opportunities from that one transaction. I think that will make life easier for everybody. Just pass along referral and continue to generate income from other people's relationships that they're building and closing deals down the road without you ever even giving your 2 cents in what's happening, right?
Yeah, just get a check in the mail one day.
Yeah, I think that we probably will have triple the number of agents we have right now in every market.
What about you, Daniel? What's your thought process on this one?
Well, there's a easy and there's a hard way to deal with this person. The easy way, I would tell it to go pound sand, wiser. So a referral, I would not say no right away, depending on who this person is. Obviously, with the social media now, and if that person is, I don't know what I say this, quite upset maybe, and really motivated, they can make my life very miserable, and they can, at the point where ruin my reputation of some sort. So it might be easier just to pay them off. Not only that, depending on the relationship I have with this person, I might use them as a way to sell more business. So we can spin this into more. Like, sure, I'll pay you. Do you have any more people you might want to refer to me? So, as a long term business model, it might not be a bad idea. Again, it's 20%. If I'm bringing thousands and paying her hundreds of dollars, I can live with that.
Yeah, that's very true. I know I've done quite a few referrals given, and received. And typically on the referral agreement that I typically write up, it's 2 transactions. We normally put 2 transactions. I know some people put one, some people put more. We typically do 2 because you figure they're going to buy and sell at some point. So with this one for me, there's obviously the legal part of it where legally she upheld the contract, or he, whoever this agent is, they upheld their legal part. They paid the one referral fee. So they're not legally obligated to pay her anything. But like you were saying, Daniel, that seems like a very good business model to take because let's say you sent me a referral and you didn't ask for another one, but you just got a check in the mail from me one day from your broker because I sent you, because that client bought another house and I sent you a referral and you're like, oh, wow, okay. If you have another buyer or seller in that area, who are you going to send that to?
Yeah, I
You know?
could see that, but also the way they approach it, right? I think that has a lot to do. Because if you just call and say, hey, I'm entitled to this referral because I sent you that referral 3 years ago, and that was only for one, and you come out of nowhere expecting something, like there's a way to do things, and there's a way to be an asshole as well. And I think the person asking for the referral is being the asshole because of the way she approached the agent in regard to referral. If it's a situation where with Heather, you send that out and you have an opportunity to say, hey, so and so close another deal. You have anybody else? I can send you a referral from this one. And like Daniel said, he opens the door and opens an opportunity for more business coming your way. But it's all being communicated. It's all being put down on paper. It's not a matter of I sent a deal to someone 5 years ago and hey, just close another deal. I expect a referral. I think that that's not the right approach in the particular case.
I
But
agree.
there's ways to make it happen to help each other out, you know. But in this case, just going straight up, hey, I'm expecting a referral. I sent you this 3 years ago, and that document 3 years ago was only for one deal, but I want my cut right now. But like, hell no. If you approach me like that, I'm gonna be hell no. But if you approach me in a different angle, then I may be open to listening.
So I'm already past that point in my life. I completely agree with what you're saying, but the way I look at things, feelings don't help me pay bills. And someone maybe being disrespectful and everything doesn't bring money into my pocket. A specific example I can share with you. I called this woman with an appointment for a listing. She was intoxicated. She was very mean on the phone, and I was at the point where I almost hung up on her. There's a train going by. Stand by.
Hey, it's the beauty of living
Sorry.
this life, right?
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm calling you, trying to help you out, and you just being, I don't want to use better words, and I almost hung up on her, thinking like, I don't need this. And I kind of swallowed my pride or whatever you want to call it. I stay on the phone with her and then realized she was in a bad time in her life, dealing with depression, alcoholism, and ultimately end up selling her home. And so, yeah, sometimes we men typically, in certain cultures, we take the respect to some higher level that is really important to us. I'm at the point in my life at my age, I really don't care anymore. It's business is business. At the end of the day, I'm looking at this is going to benefit me, and obviously, there are times when you have to draw a line in the sand. I mean, there's lines you don't cross, ethical lines or legal lines, but beyond that, the emotions, I'm past that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that totally does make sense. And I'm glad that you were able to see that and stay on the phone with her and then help her with the real estate transaction she needed because I mean, if it had been another person, they could have just hung up the phone and moved on with their day and I think by you realizing that and reaching out like that and helping her, you probably got her through what was a really difficult point in her life.
Yeah, there was definitely much more. It was quite serious where she was, and I don't want to share this, even though we're not using names, but it was pretty bad. She was in a bad shape, and at the end, well, I'm glad I was able to. Jack, leave it. He just ate intestines from a dead animal.
Oh,
Sounds like I'm gonna
yeah.
be,
Oh,
visiting a vet in the next few days.
but in regards to situation, it clearly highlights, what in this business, sometimes we have to put some ego, some things aside in order to dialed in into what the client really needs and be able to be there and be present for them and help them navigate through a difficult challenge because they could be in a have a clouded moment. There's things that they're not seeing, things that they're not understanding, and relying on you and relying on their agents allows them to put clarity and be able to move forward in different angles because sometimes we call and in that situation it's easily to hang up and just move on, right? We all call, we try to help people out. And like you said, sometimes people are not in the right mindset to be able to take that call and really dive in. But as a professional, we need to put all that aside and be able to be present for that moment and identify that okay, this person, this is not the best time to have this conversation. What can I do for them now, and when can I follow up to be able to help them and be able to be present with them in that conversation so that we can have clarity moving forward. But like I said, it's easy to hang up the phone and just move along and leave somebody else struggle, and
Yeah.
and that's not what we want as real estate agents. We want to be able to put people in the best position that we find them day in and day out.
Going back to the story, Andres, what do you think your conversation with that referring agent would be? So they reach out to you. Let's just say it was through Facebook Messenger because they saw it on Facebook, and they say, "Hey, I want the referral fee. I want the referral fee for life." What would your response be to them?
It could be, if they just approach me like that, honestly, I'll be like, uh, okay, what are you thinking? What are you just want the referral? What else did you have coming this way that I could help you with? And we can talk about it. But as far as just approaching me and say, hey, I just want the referral fee, I'll be like, I thought we were in agreement that it was just for one transaction. When you first sent me these leads, and that has already been fulfilled. But if you're looking for more opportunities that are coming this way, we can see what we can make happen regarding the current situation and how we can proceed moving forward. But just coming out of nowhere, I'm entitled to that referral. I mean, like, take a step back and let's look at the whole picture. You know, it could be a situation that they need that referral, and I will be okay. I will be okay with that. I totally understand that being a full-time agent and being productive is not as easy as people think, right? Some people might be in a situation where they're struggling and they need that, and I'm okay to listen and be able to send that referral. But if you approach me with a bad attitude that, hey, I need that, like, I deserve, I'm entitled to that referral, then I'm gonna pull my guard up. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna pull my guard up because that means then everybody can else come in and do that, right? And if you're doing that to everybody, what are you doing in your business? How are you handling your business? I think we have the contracts in place to protect each of us in those areas,
Yeah.
and we need to be mindful of that.
And the contract was fulfilled. So
Yeah,
legally, there are
exactly.
no grounds for a referral fee. They've already fulfilled the contract. Everything was done. So I don't know why the other agent was saying ethically, because ethically they followed the legal contract. So everybody is where they should be. I do see your point, Daniel, to your point of, the reputation and just wanting to make sure that they don't get mad and go on social media, but unfortunately for them, you have receipts. So if they do go on
Yeah.
social media and try to like trash you, you've got the receipts to prove that, you didn't do anything wrong. But like, this is kind of a tough one because no, I don't think they're entitled to this. It seems like they're trying to do a money grab after the fact. They see that you have this, closing coming up and they're trying to do a money grab. But, if you're looking at it from like a long term business plan, if you do give them a referral fee for life and they send you more clients and then they tell their agent friends that you'll give a referral fee for life, they're going to send you their referrals too. So it could become a lucrative way of doing business, but it seems like it got off on the bad foot with the way they kind of demanded it.
Yeah, I think so. It's just there's a way to approach and do things, right? And if you go in a certain way, you of course are gonna receive a pushback. But if we can sit down and have a conversation on how we can make this happen that works for everybody, then I'm happy to listen and sit down and go over that conversation.
So, Daniel, if you got a referral and in the referral contract or the referral agreement, it said referral fee for life, what would your response be?
Well, never got one. But if I would, obviously, I would look at it more so from a business perspective and as to what I can get out of this in the long run. Would that benefit me? And put everything else aside. Yeah, I would consider. I just never had one, never consider one. And again, we would have to put some kind of uh, I guess some kind of agreement as to what does that means, life, for life, to what degree, and maybe put some caps, and could definitely turn into a business model of some sort. Um, so I'm open to it. Again, it's Andrews made a very good point. It's in the first time, it feels like it's wrong what they're doing and everything, and the way they're coming across, but. It does fulfill obviously, the contract was fulfilled, but let me use you a different example. We all have neighbors, and the neighbors could be doing things, whether it's burning late or loud music, and we could be in the right. call the police and file charges, have them ticketed and everything else. But how would that work out in the long run for us with that neighbor?
Yeah.
So sometimes, yeah, it's good to have the contracts to kind of to fall back if it goes, if it's mediation, arbitration, or if it goes to court, so we are protected and we can win if we need to. But sometimes it's not the smartest way to deal with people. And unfortunately, in this business, we deal with people, we deal with emotions, raw emotions many times. So it's just because the contract or the law is on our side might not be the smartest thing to do, depending who we deal with as an individual and how they, why they're motivated such a way. And so that's what I would do. Again, it's always think of it as a long term. How is that going to affect me in the long term? And obviously, with social media and reputation as a realtor, you have to really take care of your reputation, your professional reputation, and you cannot let people go out there and just smear you left and right. So it's about making a smart decision in the long run.
I think so.
Absolutely.
And define what the contract means when it says for life. Whose life? My life? The other agent's life? The client's life? Whose life? How does this contract end? Who has to die for this contract to end?
That's a good point, right? That's a good point because, like you said, Heather, for life, whose life is that? Life of what? So it's an interesting, very, and I'm sure this has happened. Like I haven't come across anything like this, but I'm sure I happen, and I've seen posts of people saying, "Hey, I've sent this referral, and it was for 3, 4 transactions, and I haven't, I see that particular agent's deals close to transaction and haven't seen referral." So there's always situation like this happening, similar to it. So it's always good that if you're sending a referral, you look at those terms, what's happening there, because you want to make sure everyone here is aware of what's happening, you know. And you don't want to come across a situation like this where out of nowhere you have people expecting a referral or something
Yeah.
that was that closed a year or so ago, and now you're way past that. So I think it's just having this conversation primarily. You got to put it on the table. You have to need to have everyone aware of what's going on, aware of the terms, and that will provide clarity, and that would probably bring more opportunities. Like you said, Daniel, you want to be able to create a business models, and for that to happen, you need to have clarity on what's happening at all times, and people will be open to. But asking for surprise referrals out of nowhere, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna go start collecting.
Right. Surprise referrals. Clearly, we're not monitoring Facebook enough for all the referrals that we've given out to see how many more deals are closing from these people. For me, if I give somebody a referral, I mean, I'm with the agent that was actually working this. They're doing all the legwork. They're on the ground. They're putting in all the man hours with this. If I give them the referral, it's the 1 or 2 transactions, whatever the contract says, and then after that, it's up to them to keep that relationship built with that client. That's their client. Like they put in the time. That's their client. I don't feel like my hand needs to be in their cookie jar for life. I don't think so. Not on my side, anyways. I think they just need to, have their client and move on with life. That's why you send referrals, right? Because you can't do that one yourself. So you give it away.
Yep, that's it. And you put it in the hands of people that are gonna do right for their client, and be able to help them as much as you would, per se, right?
That's what we definitely do a lot of research. If we don't particularly know a good agent in that area that we're going to refer somebody to, we find out about the person that we're referring them to, so that we make sure that, because when you give a referral, it's your name on the line too. If you refer a client to somebody else and that somebody else turns out to be a crappy agent, that reflects badly on you because you're the one who referred them. So
It does, right? What are your thoughts, Daniel?
I think that I'm gonna consult with one of my attorneys and figure out the boundaries of how we can define for life and start reaching out to other agents and start planting the seeds.
Michelle had inspired him. So he's like, all right, I didn't know this was an avenue I could take, but now that I do, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I did not know that thing existed for life. Like I said, I've never had seen that, never heard of it. Uh, again, yeah, it's I have to look into it now. And I'm
And
sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to take off. I have to give him peroxide and make him vomit because I remember seeing that body parts last night. So they were out and about, and he ate it before I was able to stop him. I'm talking about my dog. So I'm taking him back home, and I'm gonna give him peroxide, make him vomit. Hopefully, gonna avoid a visit to a vet.
Well, we hope he does okay.
Yeah. Hey, this is really good. Let's do this again.
all right, you're welcome anytime, my friend.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Take care.
Talk to you
Bye.
soon.
Bye bye.
All right. That was. I hope the doggy was okay.
Yeah. I'm glad he was able to jump in and provide his input on this topic. I think it's just a very interesting line of angle because, like you said, there's people that come out of nowhere and say, "Hey, I'm expecting a referral." And I haven't seen it happen personally, but I'm sure we've seen, and there have been cases like this
Yeah.
out there.
Yep.
So yeah, the question will be, what, are you, again, Heather, are you the asshole for not giving that referral?
In this case, no, I don't think the agent's the asshole for not giving the referral. I think had it been handled differently, had it been approached in a different manner, then it could have maybe been a different situation at the end. But in this case, no, I don't think the agent was an asshole. They fulfilled their contract. They did what they were supposed to do. They didn't legally or ethically, in my opinion, owe that other agent anything. So no, I don't think they were the asshole.
Yeah, yeah, I agreed. I think the asshole was the one claiming the referral for the way that they came in and approach the agent regarding that referral fee. There's ways to do it. There's ways to do it right, and there's ways to continue to help each other out. But coming
Right.
out of nowhere, especially after you have known clearly that everything stated in the first contract was fulfilled, completed, and just coming up and say, hey, demanding a referral, I think it's not right. It damages relationships. And again, there's a way to do things. And in this case, I think that the one asking was the answer.
I did too. And I think, like, for example, say it was you and I saw on Facebook that, you were like, had a closing with this client, and granted, the typical person moves once every 5 to 7 years. So 3 years is pretty soon to be moving. But if I called you up and I was like, hey, Andres, look, um, I know we already fulfilled the contract and everything, but I saw you guys are closing and things are just really hard for me right now. I don't know how I'm going to make my mortgage payment. I don't know how I'm going to pay my cell phone bill. Do you think you could cut me in a referral fee on this one? I know you don't owe it to me, but if you could, that would be like awesome if you could. And then I will get you back. I will send everybody your way. I will tell all my agent friends to send people, your way. I think that probably would have gone over a lot better than I want a referral fee for life because you owe me because I put them in your world.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll be asking how much do you need? 30, 40, 50%? If you approach it like that, then it's an easy conversation to have. There's no problem to it. But if I call somebody, like you said, just, hey, I'm entitled to it because I put them in your world, then I was like, okay, you're entitled. I'm going to give you 10, 15%.
Yeah,
It's just a whole different conversation. It changes the perspective drastically, I think, in the way you approach and have this conversation.
I think so.
So yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but also, again, consider the approach, consider the relationships in between there, because it could be somebody it, and I was thinking like Daniel said, it could be somebody that is making that. That's not the first time they do it,
Oh yeah.
Just imagine somebody like that goes do their business like that. They send out a referral for a year, and then a year, 3 years later, they're just paying attention on who closes what and start claiming a for lifetime referral. How many do you think they will get away with? And at some point, who's gonna put a stop to it? Like, come on, this is not the way we do business here. You know. Now, are they a referral company that say, hey, you have a 2, 3 year referral from that particular lead? Then that's a whole different business, and the contracts and the terms are in place. But just coming out of nowhere and start claiming referral fees because you put a so and so into their world and they close a transaction, and now they're closing another one. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's ethical, and certainly there'll be an asshole in my page.
And a little bit of a bully, because they probably, like you said, they've probably gotten away with this before because they probably bulldozed other agents and been like, no, you're paying me a referral fee for life, and got away with it. So yeah, who's going to put an end to it? Who's going to be like, no, this is not cool. We did what we said we were going to do, and we're done. If you wanted it for life, you should have put it in the original contract, and you didn't. So
Yeah, and it may be happening. It may be happening out there. So
yep.
this is good, man. I think it's a great topic. I think it's a great area to look into because, again, we try to be professionals. We are professionals day in and day out, and we respect each other's work and want to help each other out in so many ways. But at the end of the day, there's always people out there that are looking for their best interest and their best interest alone. So I always review those contracts, always stay on top of it, and make sure that everyone is on the same page.
Yep. All right, guys. So you heard the story. So let us know what you think, and let us know your thoughts, your opinions. Was the real estate agent who refused to give the referral fee the asshole in this scenario?
And if this episode made you uncomfortable, fired up, or feel seen, good. That's the point. This show exists not just to entertain, but to start conversation, to challenge about advice, and to help you make smarter moves in real estate and in business.
And don't forget, if you guys want to be part of the conversation, not just listen, jump in like Daniel did, go to our website, www.realtalkha.live, to join the Real Talk community. You could be a pop-up guest, or you could be spotlighted on our Tuesdays and show your business and all of the things you offer to our community. Don't forget to, I lost my train of thought. Andres, you go.
And do us a favor, like, share the video with someone who needs to hear it. So
Also, don't forget to drop your opinions in the comment. Drop your opinions in the comments. Drop your yes, no, that's right. I am not with it today. I can't think at all. And this is live. This is why we give our disclaimer at the beginning about it being all messed up, because we do not edit it. So let us know where you guys stand. You could come at me with the Heather Learn How to Talk if you want to. That's fine. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. You never miss me messing up live in action. And we will see you guys on the next one.
hey, just wanted to say today you messed up the outro. Last time I messed up the intro. So there's always something. That's the beauty of it. Always something where either one of us. So again, stay tuned, and we'll see you next time for more Real Talk with Heather and Andres.